I got a comment recently that I really appreciated. I don't know this person, but I felt like we understood each other for a second. So thank you to Happy Trigger, I hope you're cool with me sharing this. I love your vids, man. I have a crazy recommendation for a show to watch, but it's called Galaxy Angel. It's an anime from 2001 to 2004. It's weirdly similar to Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and I think it'd be an interesting watch for you. See, this person shared their thing with me for no other reason than because they thought I'd like it. This is easily the best way to get my antisocial ass attention, so naturally I looked it up. I watched a compilation and a couple episodes, and you know what, I did like it. I was laughing, instantly thinking about clips I could use, maybe even thinking about making a video on it once I finished it. But then I stopped myself, I thought about what I was already working on, and said, man, I ain't got time for any of this shit. Let me start by saying that I know the first instinct most people have when someone asks them for money is to roll their eyes, maybe nod politely as they slowly moonwalk away as far as possible.
Why are you running?
I know that right now, just about the last thing people want is another person who wants their money. And I've said before that I didn't start this channel to be some easily monetizable thing. It was just my personal expression. It was something to help me through what was a hard time in my life. And it did that. But in the back of my head, I always knew that I was building to something. I just wasn't sure what. And in the last year or so, I think I found it. If you're new here, I am Light Spaceman, and I've been making video essay retrospectives mostly focusing on Adult Swim shows of the past and present. I started making AMVs, then I did these goofy animation edits, always leaning into an absurdist, somewhat sarcastic tone that still tries to swing back around to a sincere, emotional point by the end. And to this day, while I focus on the essays, I can't help but edit them a little bit like a music video. All of this was somewhat accidental as I tried to find ways to do something I hadn't done before and trying to get better as an editor than a writer and speaker. And people seem to like it. I have trouble taking a compliment, but at this point I can assume that the people who think I suck will just tell me. I've improved a lot, and going forward, that's still my main goal.
That was educational.
When I made the Space Ghost video, I knew I wanted to get to a place where I even felt comfortable doing something like the Boondocks or Venture Brothers, to do them the justice I felt they deserved. I think that time has come. The only problem is, this is as far as I can go on my own. The way I've been doing this up to now, if I try to split this between my real life and job alone, the videos will take longer and longer, and worst of all, I will stagnate. At best. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to quit. And I'm not going to. In a lot of ways, I'm just getting started. I know this is the most roundabout way of announcing a Patreon possible, and might not even be the best way of getting someone to donate to it, but I can be sentimental, and it took time to build confidence in what I do. And I think dealing with the audience directly is the best way to make the videos as interesting, entertaining, and me as I want them to be. You know how YouTube is, you can't predict anything about what it's gonna do, and I have little interest in making my videos ad-friendly, whatever that means. I never made any money doing this. If you ever see an ad on one of my videos, it's because some company thought they had the right to put them there. And I wouldn't really care if they would just understand the assignment and put the ads where they theoretically make the most sense to go, but of course they have to break the flow of the editing, and I don't like that. My Warner Brothers video, they got the last laugh on that one because they made more money than I did. I tried to make it monetizable, but they flagged it for the Looney Tunes theme weeks after it came out, and while I could cut it, I asked myself whether it was worth ruining that joke, and it just wasn't to me. I'm gonna try to control the ads for the sake of the videos, but if it doesn't happen, I don't want to change my style over it. I like playing these lo-fi tracks and using anime clips and swearing a little bit. I try not to do it too much. It fits what I'm going for. So if you like what I do, I simply ask that you consider donating to my Patreon. And hey, if you've ever said, I kinda like this, but it would be so much better if you just do this or fix that, this is the perfect opportunity for you to help me do it. But of course, as I'm sure you know, the easiest, best thing you can do is like, share, and subscribe. But to those of you who want to do a little more, here's what I'll do. For $1 a month, you get your name in the credits, and if you've seen my style, you can imagine I'll find a way to make it look cool.
Example.
For $5, I'll give you a special thanks at the end of the video, shout out your name, and you get access to polls that decide the next video's topic. The power is in your hands. And for $10, like Like, if you really like that, you get all that and access to my Discord. Why 10? Because I don't want to moderate a huge Discord. I don't want it to take too much time away from actually making the videos. And I think it would be a nice way to create a space for people that are into this sphere of interest. I don't know, maybe I'll lower it at a certain threshold. I think this makes sense for right now, but it's subject to change. We can talk about it. I think the last thing I want to mention is that I like you guys.
What do you mean by that?
You know, people say you can love your family but not really like them. I like you guys. I never really had to deal with the kinds of unreasonable people you can get from YouTube comment sections. You guys are smart, you care about art, and I wouldn't have improved as much if you didn't point out my mistakes. You guys are adults. Probably, mostly, I don't know, people lie on the internet. I've mentioned this at some point, but one of the things I wanted to do the most was connect with people that shared my interests. Send out a message to the other artsy weirdos who stay up too late doing something. And you know, it worked. People have asked me to work on their projects, I've made friends doing this, and I'm excited to connect with even more. My name is Patrick Outlaw. I've gone out of my way to never mention that. Yes, that is my real government name. Nice to meet you. LSM is a bit of a sarcastic persona. And not to get too parasocial, but the real guy is glad you're here. Okay, that's it. That's enough sincerity from me. I have a Blue Sky. Follow me on there if you're into that kind of thing. Why not Twitter? Because it's not Twitter. The next video is Common Side Effects because I already promised it. And the next one will be a poll option. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the next one.